And on the telephone line with me right now, we're very grateful to have Rodney Allen Rippy. How you doing, Rodney?
Man, it's an honor. How are you doing this morning?
I am fantastic, and I could not be better. That I'm very grateful that you're joining us today. And Rodney Allen Rippy is a former child actor. You've appeared in television commercials, and you've been in a number of the Jack in the Box commercials. I do remember from the 1970s, and so. How, looking back on your career, Rodney, how would you assess everything? I mean, how do you have a fondness of looking back on things?
I do, man, and I have no problem with the whole flashback. And it all started in 1972. I was just a little kid living on the west side of Long Beach, and it kind of started as a dream. I was this little boy watching the Little Rascals, and and I was cracking up, sitting there in the living room watching TV, and my mom walks in and she asked me, she goes, "What's so funny?" And I pointed at the television. She goes, "Oh, you're laughing at buckwheat." And I'm like, "Yep."
Wow.
And so she goes, "You wouldn't be afraid to do that? You think you could do that?" And I said, "Sure." And so she goes, "No, really?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So in 1972, my mom walks over to the Yellow Pages and picks up the Yellow Pages and starts making phone calls, and there were agents, talent agents in the Yellow Pages. Huh. And lo and behold, after a couple of hit and misses, my mom, called one guy, and he was a little shysty guy, and he took some money from my mom and never did anything, my mom and dad. And but we got hooked up with a good agent, and her name was Dorothy Deotis. She's now retired, living in Florida, but she was one of the greatest child agents here in Hollywood. And I actually got the call for the Jack in the Box commercial, and basically it was my first audition. I had never had any formal training. I did not come from a entertainment family, and I hit one of the biggest commercial campaigns in the past 50 years.
Wow. And I also remember, I think before that, you were in Blazing Saddles.
No, well, that was my first. The Jack in the Box.
Oh, was it really? Okay. Okay.
That was my first spot. But following up that, I mean, I did all the shows during the 70s. $6 Million Man, Police Story, Medical Center, Dr. Welby, MD, The Odd Couple. I mean, Laugh In. I mean, I was with the greats. I worked with the greats. Had the pleasure of working with George Burns in Oh God Book 2 a little later in my career, and I was in Blazing Saddles, and so, all of those things, man, I can't, I have no regrets.
That's great. Well, you were also in a number of great television programs. I remember one of my favorites is The Odd Couple. You were with the Harlem Globetrotters Popcorn Machine, which I also remember on Saturday mornings. So what was that like?
You know what? Well, the Harlem Globetrotters, that was it was just a dream come true. It was like a Saturday morning special for kids every Saturday morning, and I was the brains of the bunch. And so, it was like these guys, they didn't know, they were just like fumbling guys, and they didn't know what they were doing, and I always had all the answers, and it was always this, oh, that's what we ought to do, it's that type of thing.
Right.
So, real tongue-in-cheek, and I just had a blast with it.
Out of all the roles that you've played so far, what is your favorite role?
Probably, actually, it was really funny. I would probably say it's a toss-up between my role on the $6 Million Man when I was working with Louis Gossett Jr., of course, Blazing Saddles with Mel Brooks, because the whole cast was crazy.
Yeah, they were.
And the third was I did the show Medical Center, and what happened was it was really funny. I was supposed to be the sick child in, like, Children's Hospital, and believe it or not, that day I had 102 temperature. I was sweating. So the theatrics that you seen on television was real. I was sick as a dog.
Wow, that's why it looks so real.
And we had to roll. I mean, I got sick like a couple of days before, and literally I was sweating. I had 102 fever. They had all these lights on, and my mom was so worried. My mom's like, "Oh, Rodney's gonna have he's just going to croak. I mean, it was horrible. But we got through it. So I had to be a real pro. You know, I learned to be a pro at an early age.
And you certainly still are. That's wonderful. What did you learn from Louis Gossett Jr.?
You know what? I saw people like Louis Gossett, Johnny Carson, Sammy Davis Jr. The list can go on and on and on. And I just saw the level of professionalism because I knew that these guys were big time. And when I was a child, my mom told me right there, she goes, Rodney, these people are very important, sweetheart. She goes, do you see all these lights and all these cameras? And I'm like, yes, Mom. She goes, I don't want you worrying about nothing, baby. Just do your job. Don't worry about nothing but your job, your lines. That's all I need you to concern yourself with. I'm like, okay, Mom. And my mom was like the best. And my family was the best because, you know, my sister Beverly Lee and my brother Kenneth Wayne, we were all signed up with the same agent. And my sister did a commercial, and my brother had a couple auditions, and I landed the Jack in the Box spot. But my brother and sister, who were older, told my mom and dad they didn't want to do it. They just thought it was too much fuss and the makeup and the people.
Sure.
They wanted to support me, so there was never any civil,
strife,
rivalry or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so they supported me. My family supported me, and still do till this very day. And so I keep pushing, and I'm doing great shows like WCSB, man.
Well, thank you, Rodney. I appreciate that very much. You're also a graduate of California State University at Dominguez Hills. What was that like going to college after you've been a child actor?
Well, sadly, I lost my mom before I graduated high school in like 1985.
Okay.
But that was one of the things my mom said to me. She said, Rodney, what are your plans? I'm like, Mom, I'm going to be graduating in a few months. And she said, didn't you tell me, this was like we were having the talk in the hospital. And she said, it's just me and her. And she said, didn't you tell me you wanted to go to college? I said, yeah. She goes, well, Rodney, your money is set aside for you. You can go to school. And she said, just if you plan on going back to California, promise me one thing. You'll be a good boy, and you'll go out there, and you won't get yourself in any trouble. And I gave my mom my word, and I stayed in North Carolina a couple of years, make sure my pop was okay, because my mom passed away in 85. I graduated 86 from, my high school, Southeast Guilford, North Carolina.
Yep.
And I decided, I'm going to go back to California and go to college. And so I moved to California in 1980, and I've been here ever since. I don't have any family here, just my friends and fans. That's my family. And so
that's great.
I'm out here pushing, trying to make great things happen, and I'm not trying to do it just for me. I'm trying to do it for my family.
Wonderful. That's fantastic. What did you major in college?
Marketing. I got my degree in marketing and advertising, and right after I graduated, I worked for ABC Television, KABC, Channel 7 here in Los Angeles. I've worked for a couple major media outlets, KFWB News Radio, All Talk Radio at the time. I worked for Westwood One. I was the national director of marketing, so I was over 2,000 radio stations across the country. And from there, I started my own marketing PR company, Rippy Marketing Group.
What do you deal with that?
Oh, I work with all kind of clients. Right now, I'm very excited to say I'm working on a project with the LA Unified School District. They have something called Let's Celebrate. They have a whole series of festivals, everything from choral music, instruments, dance, visual arts. Right now, here in Los Angeles, May 1 through 22nd, they're doing a visual arts exhibition. And the next big thing is Thursday, May 21st, will be their theater festival. And Wednesday, the 27th, will be the first ever LA Unified School District Film Festival.
Wonderful.
So we're very excited about that.
Looking over your resume, I noticed that there was a song called World of Love, which was on the Billboard Hot 100 chart back in 1973. Can you talk a little bit about that?
That was from my album, Take Life a Little Easier, and I'm very fortunate to say I know that you love great music, and
I do.
And that was my time. I was a little kid and had a great following, and so that was one of the title songs from the album "Take Life a Little Easier," and I love music. You know, I've been an executive producer over a country artist. His name's Ben Rombout, and we produced a country song for our men and women of the armed services.
Wonderful.
And that song, you know, world love, that's what we need. I mean, when you look around, I hope everybody goes out and can find this song, because if you listen to the lyrics of this song, and I'd like to re-release it, literally. I mean, I'm actually in the process of re-releasing a retro line for my doll. I want to re-release my album, because many parents have contacted me saying, where can they find this album on CD? And it's not available yet. And so I have a lot of fun endeavors that I'm still working on.
That's great. Have you thought about doing another album?
Would love to. You know, I really would. And I actually my friend and that I executive produced, Ben Rombout, he actually has a song called "The Last Rodeo" that he wants me to sing. And it's kind of strange, but it is a country song, and it's a beautiful song. And so we're looking at maybe going in the studio with that. I'm involved with a lot of things musically. I'm also working with the James Brown Band, and which they go by the JBs now. This is the original.
Wow.
You know,
they were great.
Hardest working man in show business, the JBs, and so they wrote a song called "Pull Your Pants Up," and so now I have a project called "Pull Your Pants Up Now," and you can go to the website, and that's the title song for it. That's our anthem. And you know, I'm here, you know, in LA with my marketing company. I'm working with Britain's finest and a wonderful man by the name of Fred Zimeno. He's actually putting on the Beatles Festival here September 26th here in Pico Rivera. That's going to pull in about 10,000 people. So if you're Beatle lovers and you're listening in, make sure you come out and check out the show. I'm also going to be Master of Ceremonies for a great organization here in L.A. called AIRS LA. That's AIRSLA.org. And it's for the vision impaired and the blind. And so they take and create like audio books for people who are visually impaired.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just some, you know, and I stay busy. I've been involved with Special Olympics, muscular dystrophy, American Cancer Society. You know, like I said, I lost my mom to cancer, and I always pledged that I would always support them.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Rodney, you've done a lot of things in the world of showbiz, and we've talked about that. What have you not done that you'd like to do?
You know what I'm wanting to? Well, I'm in the process of putting together a nonprofit, because I have a lot of, you know, I have many, many great contacts and great friends and people that I'm around, and I'm always wanting to do more. And my ultimate goal is to just to continue to executive produce things and work with great people. I'm co-executive producer on a documentary called Rise and Shine, and that's being endorsed by the LA Unified School District, and it's all about the arts and education. I'm co-executive producer of a big television show coming up called the Country Soul Music Awards, and it's all about honoring people like Ronnie Millsap, you know, Lionel Richie, Dean Carter, the Winona Judd. They are all country soul singers.
Yes.
You know, Charlie Pride, and these are people who we want to give an award to and recognize, you know, and give them that recognition for being country soul artists. That's a new genre we're working on.
Country soul, I really like that. How about Johnny Cash?
Johnny Cash too, man. You talk all these people. You know, if it wasn't for great people like Millsap and Charlie Pride and Ray Charles, the Pointer Sisters. A lot of people don't know the Pointer Sisters won a country Grammy for their song Fairy Tale.
Never knew that.
So there's a lot of things, but, the thing is I'm constantly on the go, and I'm wanting to, I always have that desire to act and to work on great projects and movies and film, and so I try to keep myself ready. I'm always, I'm always in the middle of a lot of things, but I'm always ready to get back in front of the old camera.
That's wonderful. Rodney, can you hang on for just a minute?
I can indeed.
We're going to take a little PSA break, and we'll be right back on the Ray Carr Show in just a moment, so hang with us, please. All right, we're back live on WCSB with Rodney Allen Rippy. Rodney, question for you. Is there any new country artists that you'd like to record with?
Wow. I mean, yeah, we're working right now. My partner and I, Marvin Spruill, we're working, who is the creator and executive producer of the Country Soul Music Awards. We're working with a couple of great talent. One girl, her name is Vicki Van. If you want to see one of the most gorgeous country soul singers, just go online and pull her up. It's Vicki, Vicki Vann. She's gorgeous. And also we have Kiara Lynn Ford. We have another young man by the name of, we got so many people. Darn, it slipped my mind. But the whole thing is, those are the two girls and that are right now on deck right now. These two ladies are I'm telling you, they're star quality, and they are ready to go. And so between that, I'm working with other great artists and things like that we're putting together a lot of different things between the country soul. A friend of mine, his name is James Andrew. He's Taylor to the Stars, and he wanted me and him to kind of go in and represent a young artist by the name of Exy. He's a young Latin singer, and we're having so much fun. I can't say enough, but you guys doing a great job with the radio show. Me and a dear friend, Dan Pettigrew, we've launched the Teen Day Radio Network, and we go into schools all across America. Dan started it over in Wisconsin, and we're moving it to L.A. now at this point, and we're starting a program where we teach kids the real mechanics of radio. And so you can just go to Facebook and you can type in the Teen Day radio broadcast, and so it'll come up. And anything that, anybody wants to, get in contact with me, it's really easy to find me. I'm on Facebook, and I'm not too hard to find.
You're found. You're actually ubiquitous. You're everywhere.
Well, the thing is, thank God, man. I have to say, I don't have nothing to hide. I've met a lot of people, and my phone is constantly ringing with great interviews like this. And
thank you.
The Ray Carr Show, and I'm just like, this is awesome, man. And I mean, I don't have any regrets, and I got my foot on the pedal, man. I'm not hitting the brakes for nothing. I'm thinking that I made it this far, and I tell people, a lot of times people ask me, how do I, keep an upbeat attitude? And I'm like, well, I thank God for my life and great family and friends. And I'm like the Bee Gees, man, I'm staying alive.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Good segue right there, Rodney. Thank you, Rodney. I appreciate it. I think that whatever you touch will turn to gold.
I'm hoping, brother, and what we do, we're all going to melt it down, and we're going to wear big chains. Me and you, buddy.
Okay, Rodney, you're the best, and we'll talk to you soon. Anytime you have a new project, feel free. You can call the show, and we can talk about that.
I will, and please make sure everybody supports Airs LA and the arts all across America. And thank you so much for this opportunity.
You're very welcome, sir. Have a wonderful day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. Rodney Allen Rippy, ladies and gentlemen. That was quite an interview. I really enjoyed that.